In this section, we will engage in a hands-on activity to conduct stand detection using OpenAI. ChatGPT is developed by OpenAI. It is based on GPT-3 and the GPT-4 model of OpenAI. We will utilize the OpenAI API, which requires charge based on usage. I assume that as a researcher or observer like yourself will need to analyze large volume of data. And it is impractical to copy and paste each entry manually using ChatGPT. Therefore, we will take use of the OpenAI API. However, in most cases, using OpenAI API needs programming background. Here, I also understand that most participants in the course may not have a programming background. For this reason, I will introduce a Google Sheet extension, GPT for Sheet, and Docs. This extension allows us to run OpenAI function on text data within Google Sheet. So, let's explore it. GPT for Sheet is a third-party extension for Google Sheet, Google Docs, and Excel. Actually, it was not developed by OpenAI or Google, but by an independent service provider. So, it had its own pricing policy. But fortunately, they offer 0.1 of free credit for you to test it out. For us, this is enough to complete this exercise more than 10 times, even 100 times. So we can use it in this hands-on session. The extension offers several GPT functions for tasks such as classification, information extraction, translation, and general Q&A. It is very convenient to use in Google Sheet. Before we use the extension with our data, we need to install it. Please open your browser and search for GPT for Sheet and Docs. It should appear at the first or second search result. Today, there are over 6 million users you can see who are installed this tool for use within Google Docs and Sheet. Please install it for exercise. During the installation process, it will request certain permission for your Google account. Please grant this permission to ensure that it can be stored on Google Sheet. For this hands-on session, I have provided a sample sheet for practice. You can access it through the link in this slide. Once you open the link, please make a copy to your own Google Drive for exercise. This step is very important because you must copy it to your Google Drive in order to operate it. After opening the file, please check the extension tab. If you have successfully installed it, you should find the GPT for Sheet and Docs extension. Please enable it, and then the GPT for Sheet window should pop up on the right side like this. There is a pricing option available here. Currently, you can use this extension without OpenAI's API key. However, if you have your own API keys, the pricing will be half as much. If you want to use your own API key, you can paste your API key here. And keep in mind that these AI services are always charged based on the number of words you request and the number of words in the response. Actually, for using AI service, there is no such thing as a free launch. You must pay for it. Enable the attention and set up where your API key if you want. And the next step is to select the model we will use. Devotedly, we will choose OpenAI's GPT 3.1 Turbo model, which is the most cost-effective option. This model has been good enough for our classification task. Please also enable the Enable Cache for 6 hours option. This will keep the value calculated by the GPT function for 6 hours, offering another way to save money by avoid recalculation of Google Sheet. Let me explain the function of GPT for Sheet and its relation to OpenAI. The attention GPT for Sheet primarily encapsulates queries similar to what you did on ChatGPT. It converts this query into function for use in Google Sheet. For example, the GPT function is equivalent to asking a question to ChatGPT as you did on ChatGPT. Similarly, the GPT classify function allows you to classify something. When you use GPT classify function, there is no need to specify that you want to perform classification task. The prompt for classification is already written within the function. Just give it your data and categorize as input. In this slide, let me introduce typical components of prompts, especially for classification like stent detection and sentiment analysis. A prompt used for classification can be broken down into 3 parts. Take this prompt for example. Analyze the sentiment of nuclear power is clean energy as positive, neutral, or negative. In practice, we can break it down into the prompt and the values. The prompt part refers to sentiment analysis command, while value part refers to the sentence we want to analyze. Alternatively, the category to be classified, such as positive, neutral, and negative, can be separated out in advance. This allows us to break down a single prompt into 3 parts, including prompt, category, and values. When we use functions like GPT or GPT classify function provided by GPT for Sheet in Google Sheet, you will be able to interact with their specific functionality. The GPT function is designed for general use when you directly input your prompt. It is versatile, allowing you to ask any question or make any request as you would in a ChatGPT dialogue. On the other hand, the GPT classify function streamlines the process for classification tasks. This function is tailored with a predefined prompt structure. All you need to do is provide the text you wish to analyze and define the categories such as positive, negative, and neutral. This category and the data and the prompt has become the variable of this function. This setup simplifies the task of categorizing sentiment or other type of classification directly within your Google Sheet, making your analysis both efficient and structured. When you use the attention, because it involves computation, you must be mindful of this slide. In a typical scenario, when you refresh your entire Google Sheet, it will recalculate all the functions automatically. This mechanism can lead to repeat charge from OpenAI and GPT-4 Sheet. Fortunately, GPT-4 Sheet provides several strategies to save your money. Firstly, there is a pause feature located at the top right corner of the sheet. By using this, you can stop all calculation temporarily. When you stop them, you can design and input your function without triggering any calculations. Once everything is set up, you can then resume calculation. This process ensures that you are only billed for the data ready to analyze. Secondly, to further prevent unnecessary recalculations, there is an option to replace formula with values. After your formula has been processed and you have obtained the desired output, remember to use this option to convert this formula into static value. The method will stop any future recalculation on these cells. This is a great way provided by GPT-4 Sheet to lock in your data and avoid additional fees. Let's see the third method. If your work is complete and you don't need it for some time, it is suggested to remove your API key from the sheet if you use your own OpenAI API key. This method prevents unintended API call. If you need to use the service again, you can reapply for a new key from OpenAI website. This approach ensures that you maintain control over when and how you are billed for using OpenAI service.